What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how wide receivers can improve their body control on their cuts and have a little bit more balance when they're making cuts downfield. So this video is done by request, fellas, so if you guys have any other content that you would like to see, any questions that you would like to have answered in a video, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to hear from you guys. Also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver this offseason and you want to get faster, you want to get more explosive, but at the same time, you also want to improve your route running, your releases, your hands, and you're maybe not sure how to structure your workouts, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate 8-week wide receiver workout plan. What you'll get access to is 8 weeks of daily gym and on-field workouts with sets, reps, and video examples of each drill on this plan. So if that sounds like something that interests you, check out that very first link in the description below, fellas. Let's get started. So now this route is going to be a squirrel route. So I'm not necessarily saying that this is like a route that you must master. It's kind of an uncommon route, but it's used at the next level, right? So it's pretty much where you run an out, up, and then back out. You could run a comeback off of it. You see Tyreek Hill run this route a lot. Usually it's like a max protection situation where they got 7 guys blocking for that QB, and you're pretty much one-on-one with the DB in zone or maybe off man. So when you do this type of route, the main thing that obviously applies, and this is why we made the video, is body control. So how do you make these 3 specific cuts with a lot of speed? And that comes from not reaching on your cuts. So you see every single cut that he makes is inside of his frame. When he pushes back up, that cut is not reaching. He's not leaning back with his chest. He's not reaching and striking the ground on his heel. And we're going to get into that later in this example from Cooper Kupp. But anytime that you guys make a cut, wide receivers will lose balance because they try to reach and exaggerate. You got to understand that a DB, when he's in man, when he's playing you one-on-one, he is watching what? He is looking at your hips. So when that DB is looking at your hips, your upper body is what sells the move. He's trying to get this guy to bite on an out and up, right? So he's got to make sure that his hips and shoulders are committed to the out. And then when he breaks back up vertical, his hips and shoulders are committed vertical. He does not need to reach out with his feet to exaggerate it. The cut needs to be sudden and it needs to be inside his frame so he can change direction. Fellas, the cut is for explosion and the cut is to change direction. The upper half is what will sell the movement. So you see this first cut inside of his frame. Now he pushes back up vertical. He's got speed to this DB's blind spot. He's committing his hips and his shoulders to the blind spot, and the cut is sudden. It's inside of his frame. That is how we get out of a route with body control. Understand that the cuts that you make do not need to gain a whole bunch of ground. They are inside the frame. They're sudden and inside your frame. And we are not reaching out, raising up my pad level, and giving this huge indicator to a DB. So let's play this thing again full speed. Then we'll get into this route example from Cooper Kupp and how you guys can get more balance by simply striking the ground correctly when a cut is inside of your frame. So this is a route where Kupp is going to be facing outside shade, off-man coverage, right? Or it could be considered zone coverage, right? But he's going to be using a triple rocker step. So what that is he's going to be running this like 10-yard out. So instead of just doing a rocker step, and if you guys don't know what a rocker step is, that's where instead of running this out route and cutting off of your left foot, you go right then left. So that's like a regular rocker. He's going to be doing a triple rocker. So he's going to be going left, right, then left, breaking off the left to the out route. Now this is a very complex cut. A lot of wide receivers who try this, a lot of wide receivers when we train this, the first couple times they do this, they will fall flat on their face because they lack the body control or maybe the know-how of how to actually make this cut efficiently. And it comes down to your foot strike. On any cut, it comes down to your foot strike and what we just talked about, not reaching out for the cut and stepping outside of your frame so you don't lose explosion. So let's play this thing full speed. So he runs up and he goes here, 1, 2, 3, gets that DB to bite on the post and is able to accelerate out. One of the best in the game at this, obviously, right? So when he goes here and he makes this first cut, I want you to see how it's inside of his frame. A lot of times, like we talked about, wide receivers will reach outside their frame. They'll try to over-exaggerate and sell. And when you reach outside the frame, your chest pops up, but the goal of every single cut is to be able to sell, but also to be able to explode. So when you guys get out of a break and you're trying to explode off the cut and that cut's inside your frame, sometimes guys don't know how to push off of this foot correctly. They'll cut, they'll be sudden, but they won't know how to push. They won't know how to get out of the break. And when they cut inside their frame, they'll drift. I'm sure some of you have felt that before. Like, hey, I'm not reaching on my cuts, but it feels like my feet are too far underneath me and I drift off the break. How we can combat that is where you strike the ground. Because you see when Kupp is striking the ground, he's not on his tippy toes. He's not on his heels. He's on the arch of his foot. Your body control is going to come from being sudden, being inside your frame, but striking on the arch of your foot. And then you see the third cut where he has to drive out. There's no reach. He's striking on the arch, but also the reason why we strike on the middle arch is so we can push off of the inside arch, because that push is what gives me that explosion, because there's no reason to make a cut if I'm not trying to accelerate and run out of this break. So make sure, fellas, if you struggle with body control, if you struggle with coming to balance on any kind of speed cut, any kind of cut where you even have to snap down, you got to keep those feet inside your frame. One, so we're balanced. So I sell with the upper half, not necessarily sell with the lower half. And so when I strike the ground, I'm on the arch, I can create that energy and push to drive out of this route. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. This is textbook right here from Cooper Kupp on how to do this triple rocker step and how to do it with some balance and some explosion and get out of the break quickly. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you'd like an 8-week daily wide receiver gym and on-field workout schedule, all sets and reps broken down for you, and a video example of each on-field drill, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.